Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and this is another bookish video. Hello friends, in today's video I will be going over my fall TBR / fall plans. I'm so excited for fall. Fall is my favorite season, and so I thought it would be fun to put a new twist to my owl choose your TBR game. I love playing my board game. If you don't know, I have a board game that I play, this owl choose your TBR, but I need to redo all the prompts for that, and I think kind of redo this board. Well, I am not doing it this for the fall, and instead I created a owl choose your TBR fall bingo, and I am so excited for that because I love fall and I love picking books with prompts, so I thought it'd be fun to do it this way. I made a little Canva graphic for it here, and I think it's so cute. I love it. And so that is what I'm gonna do for probably, it says September 1st through October 31st on there, and that is my plan, to do that for between to finish and make the board, black out the whole board in 2 months, but we will see if that happens. And I am going to try to do weekly vlogs and fitting prompts and trying to make a bingo each week, a singular bingo, or maybe not a bingo, but fitting certain prompts until I get fill out the whole board. So yeah, we will see. It depends on how much I can read in a week, but I am going to try to vlog every week for sure September and October to finish these prompts. And I am hoping I can do this. I have not read a single thing really in August, so hopefully my reading slump stops and I can get these books out. There are some books in the back here. I'm going to be going over the different prompts and what I kind of plan on reading. These aren't set in stone books, but they are what I have planned for each prompt. But I'm just gonna go over them quickly, and then I might also at the end, after I go over the books, spin a wheel for the books or one of the books I plan on reading for the first week, so you can get a sneak peek at that. But yeah, I plan on spinning a wheel again, another little the wheel here, and that is how I'm going to decide on what prompts I focus on each week. So hopefully the prompts fit in with the time period, but it's fine because fall season is just a vibe. I will read anything spooky in September or October, anything witchy, it just fall season. I'm in fall spooky mode now, especially starting in September. So I'm just excited to pick books that fit these prompts. But anyway, I'm gonna keep rambling on and on. And also, so I made this graphic. I can leave a link down below if you are interested in also picking books with the prompts. This was a more personal challenge for me, and a fun thing I can do for the fall. But if you also want to save the graphic and also pick books based off the prompts, you can feel free to do that. And please let me know down in the comments if you also plan on doing that. But anyway, let me go ahead and get started with going over all of the prompts. All right, so the first square on the board is for orange cover, since fall is all orange is the main fall color and spooky color. So yeah, that just is self-explanatory. It's just an orange cover, and I plan on either reading these are my two options. I have The Poppy War or The Haunting of Maddie Clare. Not sure which one I will go with yet, and I'm not even sure if these are what I will go with, but these two are what I maybe have planned. The next square is a school setting, and again, that's pretty like self-explanatory, but it's just any book that has a school setting. And these are the two books that I have as possibilities. Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. This just came out in July and I haven't gotten to it yet, and I'm excited to get to it, so that's an option. And then I have Noctacadia by Carrie Lake. This has been on my TBR for a while, so yeah, we will see which one after that. The next square is Bonfire, and for that I kind of had like a fun way of saying like the book has to have either fire in the title or fire, like some type of fire on the cover. And I have 3 options for this that I could use. I have Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams, which there's like the fire ring, and it also says one witch, one spark, so it might have like witchy vibes, which is perfect for fall. So that's an option. And then I have A Fate Forged in Fire, which is in the title. Fire is in the title and it's on the cover. And same with The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This has fire on the cover and in the title. So yeah, these are those are my 3 options for Bonfire. Next square on here is fantasy. And for that, I didn't pick out a like set book yet, because I think I'll just go with what is on my mood, like what my mood, like how my mood is and what I feel like reading if I do land on that prompt. So yeah, fantasy, it just mean like any fantasy, could be fantasy romance, fantasy, like any fantasy. That's how I was gonna go with it for that prompt. So that's why I didn't really pick out a like set book, because I was like, whatever I'm in the mood for, that is what I'll go with for that one. So anyway, next prompt. All right, the next square is football. And for that prompt, I just was going with like a football romance, like for me personally. But if you are going to like go with a prompt, it can just be anything that mentions football. And I only have 1 option right now for this. I think I have some Kindle, like books on my Kindle that could fit this as well. But the only book that I have on my physical TBR that I can find right now is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I've been needing to read this for a while now. It's been on my TBR, so I think it'll be perfect to read for that prompt. But yeah, it is a thick book. So yeah, I'm still excited to read it. It's a romance, so hopefully it'll go by quick. All right, next row and next prompt was a fall setting. And for that, just a book that has a fall setting. So I have 2 options for that. I have Autumn of the Grimoire by J.L. Vampa. This is like a fantasy romance, I think. And it follows sister witches. That's what it says on the back. I'm excited to get to this one, maybe. And then I also have You Again by Kate Goldbeck. This has been on my TBR for so long, or at least I think did it come out a couple years ago or last year? I can't remember, but it's been on my TBR for a while. Yeah, it came out 2 years ago. It says September of 2023. So yeah, I've had both of these on my TBR for a while. So these are definitely books that I can choose for that prompt, because I mean this is obviously, it looks like it has a fall setting, and then this has autumn in the title. The next square is Fall in Love. And for that prompt, I just was like, any romance, and it doesn't have to like have a fall setting or anything. But I did end up picking books that have like spooky, witchy vibes for that one. But yeah, it was just like any book with a romance or any romance. And for that, I chose A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon as an option by Sarah Hawley. And then I have Looking for Love in All the Haunted Places by Claire Kahn. And I think that they'll just be a spooky, fun time. So yeah, those are my options for that prompt. Next square is for, and the prompt is spooky read. And for that, I have 2 options as well. And I have Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. I actually tried reading this last year, but ended up putting it down and then never picked it back up because I think I was reading it kind of like, I was like feeling slumpy, and I was reading it kind of slow and put it down, and then it was like out of spooky season, or out of like, I wasn't in the mood for it anymore. I was liking it when I was reading it, but I just put it down, and once we were out of spooky season, I just did not feel like picking it back up again. So I have this as an option, and this is definitely fits like spooky because I was definitely getting spooky vibes when I started it last year. And then I also have Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. This is like follows like a ghost ship, and like it kind of, I think it's like a ghost ship, and I think people have said it kind of, I don't know if people said it's like a Titanic vibe. I don't know. If it's on like I think like a spaceship, so it's like a ghostly tale in space, and I think it's gonna give like creepy vibes. So yeah, these are my options for spooky read. The next square is for an orange or yellow cover. And for my options for that, I have The 7-Year Slip, which does give like fall vibes. And this isn't like super, like it's like more of like an orange yellow, but I'm counting it because I know this kind of gives off fall vibes. And this is by Ashley Poston. I love The Dead Romantics by her, and I've heard really good things about this book, so I'm excited to maybe get to it this fall. And then I also have Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which I don't even know if this has any like fall vibes in it, but it is a very yellow cover. So I'm going with it, and it'll be a quick read if I like decide to go with it. So yeah, those are my 2 options for yellow cover. All right, the next square and prompt is called Vampire Diaries, and that is kind of like a play on because I want like vampire books that have vampires in it. And Vampire Diaries is one of my favorite shows. Like I grew up watching it in high school and loved it. So I just figured I'd like use that like name as like a prompt. And the options and obviously it just means any book with like vampires in it. And my 2 options for that are My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. This is the sequel to My Roommate is a Vampire, which I read last year, and it was like so much fun. So I'm excited to give the sequel a try. And it's another like quick romance. Like as you can see, I have a lot of like quick romances because if I want to do a vlog every week and like try to get like a blackout board, I need like quick, fast like reads. So romance is like my go-to genre for like quick reads. And then I have So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison, which is vampires. I have heard very like mixed things on this one, so that is why I have pushed it off. But I enjoyed the one book I read. I can't remember what it was called, but I can pop a picture here of it. But I enjoyed that one, and so I'm excited to give more books of hers a try. And this one has vampires in it, so it fits that like prompt. The next square is for a book that features ghosts, and I have 2 kind of like spooky like horror reads for this one. I have My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna Van Veen. This has been on several TBRs, and I just have not gotten to it yet. And it follows Rose, who has a spirit companion that only she can see, and that's all I really know about it. And I kind of want to go into it blind, and I've heard some really good things about it, so I'm excited to give it a try, maybe if I can get to it. And then I have The Deep, which I've heard like not so good things about it, but it's been sitting on my TBR for a while, so maybe I will get to this one. I think this has like Titanic vibes, and it like follows like a haunting on like the Titanic ship, and it just sounds like it sounds cool and sounds like it'll be interesting. So I'm excited to maybe give this a try as well, even though I haven't heard like the best reviews on it. But yeah, I'm still willing to give it a try. Next square is a book with leaves on the cover. And for that, I have a romance and a like dark academia book. I have two wrongs make a right, and as you can see, there are leaves here. And this kind of also gives me like a little bit of fall vibes with the cover. I am not sure if it takes place in the fall, but it does give me fall vibes. And again, this is a romance, so it'll be a quick read, hopefully. And yeah, I haven't heard too much about this one, I don't think, but I'm excited to give this a try. I don't know if I said Chloe Leese. I don't know if I pronounced that wrong. I'm so sorry. And then I have An Education in Malice, which is like a dark academia book by S.T. Gibson. This is the same author that wrote, yeah, A Dowry of Blood, which I loved. A Dowry of Blood. That is one of my one of my top favorite books of all time. And I have heard very mixed things on her like newest books. So I'm nervous to get to this one. It has like dark academia vibes, so definitely giving me fall vibes. And I'm counting like these as leaves. I'm pretty sure they're like leaves. And it has like flowers. I don't know. And it gives me like the fall vibes for like what I was going for with like leaves on the cover. So I'm counting it. And yeah, I'm excited to maybe give this one a try. All right, and quickly, I'm just going to say like for free space, I haven't decided if I'm going to just pick like any book for it or just keep it completely free, meaning like no book, or I can put it on like the wheel that I'm using, and like maybe that can be like buy a book, like a new release that I'm excited for. I haven't decided yet, but you will find out when I do land on that, if I decide to just pick any book from my TBR or if I decide to just pick or buy a new book. But yeah, that is my plan for free space. Next square is witchy vibes. I think that's what I put on the square. It's here, but it's just witchy book, witchy vibes. And the options I have for that are What the Hex by Jessica Clare. This is the sequel to Go Hex Yourself. And this was just a silly, goofy, like witchy read. And this one is an enemies to lovers, like romantic romance book. Oh my gosh. Romantic comedy. That is what I was trying to say. Rom-com. It'll be just a fun, like, goofy time, and definitely has witchy vibes. Or I can go the historical route by trying to read Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This is a prequel to Practical Magic, which I have not read yet. I'm trying to read them in like the order, like in timeline order. And I've actually tried to read this like several times, but end up putting it down. But I really, really want to get to it. Like, I am gonna try to read it. Like, I feel like I just end up like not in the mood for it. But I am hoping I can actually get to it in the fall. If not, I have this option, or I have a lot of other like witchy books. So these are just two options I have for like the witchy vibes, but I do have a lot of like witchy vibe books that I could choose from. All right, next square is the title has to start with the letter F, S, O, or N. So it just has to start with those letters, like one of those letters. And I have 4 options, one for each letter that I could go for. Like, I don't have to read a book for each of those letters. I can choose just one of those letters, and it just has to start. The title has to start with that letter. The option I have for F, I didn't really explain. FSON is because it stands for fall, September, October, and November. Which fall, of course, like fall season. And then September, October, and November, because those are like the fall months. So that is why I have like the title starts with those letters. For F, I have Filthy Rich Vampires, Three Queens. This is the third book in the series. I plan on finishing the second book in the series before I get to this one, because I do still need to finish the second book, but hopefully I can get to this one. Maybe I will read the third book in the series for this prompt. We will see. And then for S, which stands for September, I have Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which I've heard good things about, especially from Katie Colson. So maybe I will get to this one. We will see. And yeah, this also kind of gives me like spooky fall vibes. So excited to maybe get to this one. And then for O, that just dropped, I have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I also need to read her newest book. Now I'm blanking on the name for that one too. But she just came out with a new book. But I want to read this series as well, or duology. So I have One Dark Window, starts with an O. And then for N, I have Never the Roses. I don't know if this one really gives off like fall vibes. And I don't know, I wonder if this, I think this is just a fantasy romance. And it's pretty, and it starts with the letter N, and I'm excited to get to it. So maybe I will get to that for a book that starts with the letter N. So yeah, those are my options for that prompt. Next square in prompt is Howling at the Moon, which is just a book that features wolves, werewolves, anything of that sort. And I have two options for that. I have When the Wolf Comes Home. It has the word wolf, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, it follows wolves. I think this is a like horror, and I've heard really good things about it, so I really need to get to it. I also really want to get to Mary as well. I still haven't gotten to that one either. But I have this one as an option. And then I also have another fun, cute romance option. I have Wolf Gone Wild. This is a Stay a Spell Book 1 by Juliet Cross. And this is I think it follows a werewolf and a witch that are falling in love, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it'll be cute, a fun time. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go with the horror route or cute romance route, but those are my options. Next prompt is Purple Cover, and for that I have Enchantra, which is the sequel to Phantasma. And I am surprised I still haven't gotten to it, because I loved Phantasma. So I really need to get to this one. This came out at the beginning, like towards the beginning of like this year, and I still haven't read it. But it also, like, I kind of was saving it for spooky season, because I read Phantasma last year during like the spooky season and loved it, and it like fit the vibes. So I'm excited to read this one at maybe in spooky season as well. And then I also have The Neverless by Jade Presley, which is a why choose fantasy romance, I believe. I think it's fantasy romance. Yeah, it follows 4 princes, and they're trying to find a mate, and the female main character is Riley Gray. But yeah, I don't know really anything about it, but it sounds like it might be fun. So yeah, these are my two options. Next prompt is cozy vibes. So it can just be anything, like a cozy romance, just a book that like my favorite genre, a book that I just think is cozy, like anything that I feel like that gives cozy vibes. So options I have are Spell Shop, the Spell Shop, which also like I feel like this can kind of give off fall vibes, maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm excited to give this maybe a try for that prompt. And then also Cackle by Rachel Harrison, another Rachel Harrison book. I feel like this is just gonna be like, because it says it's a darkly funny, frightening novel, so I feel like this will just be a fun, spooky, good time, like witchy good time. So I'm excited to maybe get to this one as well. So that is why I have it in like the cozy vibes prompt. So yeah, these are my two options for that. All right, then I have a thriller / mystery prompt. So this is like my, like the second, like just basic like genre. And I have two options for that. I have In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This has been on my TBR for a while, and this has like academia vibes. I think it takes place at a college, so I have this option. And then I also have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, which I still have not gotten to yet. And it gives me like scary, spooky vibes. So, I've heard it has like spooky, like I've heard it can be like pretty like scary, and it has like paranormal vibes. That is what the word I was trying to look for earlier. But yeah, Home Before Dark. I've only read 3 other Riley Sagers, and this is the next one that I want to read. And then I have like several others that are on my TBR. But this is the one I've heard like the most good things on, so I'm excited to get to it. So yeah, these are my two options I have for that prompt. All right, the next square prompt is new release. And for this, I could go with any book that I have on pre-order for September. Or I have these two options that came out in August, or that I got in the month of August. And I have The Book of Lost Hours by Haley Gelfuso. I don't really know anything much about this one. I think it has like historical vibes in it. I think it is like a historical fiction, but it also has like fantasy vibes, or a fantasy like setting too. And then I have Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmer. This is a Why Choose fantasy romance, and this is also her adult debut, and this came out in August as well, and I'm excited to give this a try maybe. So yeah, so for new release, these are my options, or I could also go with a book that I plan on getting in September as well. Next prompt is a book with it says night sky, meaning like, and for that prompt, I just was thinking like a book that has night sky on the cover, or a book with like moon or stars on the cover. I only grabbed one option right now, and that is Better Left Buried by Mary E. Roach. I actually just got this at the Minnesota like adult book fair, but this author is a like local Minnesota author, and I'm excited to give this a try. And it does have like a night sky. If you can't tell, there's like clouds here, so I'm counting for night sky, even though you don't see like a moon or stars or anything, but like the clouds, that counts as night sky, and it's like dark, so I'm counting it. This is I think a YA sapphic thriller. And yeah, I'm excited. And it takes place, I think, in an amusement park, like an abandoned amusement park. Like, if you can't tell, there's like a Ferris wheel here and like a roller coaster. I think yeah, I'm excited to give this a try. I feel like this will be a lot of fun. All right, next prompt square is fairy tale retelling, and I have two options here right now. I have For the Wolf, which is a Red Riding Hood, and I think there was another like retelling. It's kind of another like retelling too, but I think it is mostly like a Red Riding Hood like retelling a little bit. I haven't heard a lot of things about this, but by Hannah Whitten, and I don't know, it gives off more like winter vibes with this cover, but I mean, it gets cold here in Minnesota, so maybe I can still read it. And then I have Scarred by Emily McIntyre. And this says it is like in the warnings here, it said it is a fractured fairy tale. Not fantasy or a retelling, but I'm counting it because it is based off of like the Lion King characters. So I'm counting it as a fairy tale, like Disney, like retelling thing, because it does say it is a fractured fairy tale. It's just not a retelling. So yeah, it's a dark romance. I read Hooked by this author and loved it, so I'm excited to give Scarred a try. And the cover, just the cover like colors give off fall vibes. So excited to maybe give this a try. The next prompt I have is walk in the woods, like the prompt I have. And I love that I made, like, I kind of based this prompt off of a book I read in July called Don't Let the Forest In. So it's funny that I said, like, it's walk in the woods, because, like, with that book, like, I would not want to walk in the woods. But I just thought it was, I thought it was fun. So yeah, walk in the woods. And for that, I just was thinking, like, a book that has, like, trees on the cover, or, like, a book that has, like, spooky forest vibes. I couldn't find anything that looked like it had, like, well, I have one that has kind of, like, spooky, like, forest woods vibes, and then one that just has, like, tree on the cover. I don't know if it's, like, spooky or anything, but yeah. Anyway, the options I have are Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. I think this is a little bit of a Peter Pan retelling. I am not sure, but it sounds like it'll be good, and it definitely gives me, like, spooky forest vibes. And it just says Lost in the Neverwoods, so yeah, that counts. And then I have The Drowned Woods. Again, it has woods in the title, so, and then there's a tree on the cover. I've had this on my TBR for a while, by Emily Lloyd Jones. And I have, like, the Owl Crate edition, and I love the end paper on it. But yeah, I don't really know much about this one, but I'm excited to give it a try. So yeah, those are my two options for that. Next prompt is fall in the title. So the word fall just has to be somewhere in the title, and it can count if it's, like, the word, like, falling or, like, fallen. Just the word fall has to be in the title somewhere, or fall, like, in the title. So I have Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a fantasy romance. I have not heard too many people talk about this book, but I'm excited to maybe give this one a try. And then I also have Dragon Fall by L.R. Lamb, which when this came out, I also heard some mixed things on. So I'm pretty iffy on these, but these are like I'm very limited on my options with books that have the word fall in the title. So yeah, these are my two options for that. All right, and then the last prompt, last square, is a red cover. Again, self-explanatory, just a book that has red on the cover. And I have three options for this. One, maybe it doesn't really count a lot for this prompt because it doesn't have a lot of red on it, but there is still, I mean, it has, like, a good amount of red. But this Monster of Mine, it just gives me creepy, spooky vibes with this cover. So, and then, like, the leaves, like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they are pretty, like, red. So maybe I can count this, even though it is, like, more of, like, a black cover. And then I have A Harvest of Hearts by Andrea Yeames. This just also gives me just fall vibes. There's, like, a cute little cat on the cover too, and yeah, and I also love the sprayed edges. Haven't heard a lot of people talk about this book, but it says it is in the beloved tradition of Howell's Moving Castle, and it's a whimsical and unforgettable story of fantastic adventure, common sense, and the power of love to overcome the greatest of obstacles. Oh my gosh. All right. I have this book. It looks like it'll be a cozy, good time. And then I have Anatomy of Love Story, which gives off, like, dark academia vibes again, by Dana Schwartz. It just sounds like it'll be good. It says it's a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. And this is red. Like, I know it kind of, like, this is, like, more pinkish red, but I'm counting it as red because there's, like, the red heart here. Like, heart dress. So yeah, I'm excited to maybe give this one a try. So yeah, that is the final prompt. All right, so those are all the prompts and what I maybe plan on reading for each prompt. I'm so excited to try this. It's definitely very ambitious, like of like my plans for what I'm gonna try to, like what I'm trying to do to like get these prompts. Like reading all these books and trying to do these vlogs. We will see what happens. That's why I'm giving myself 2 months. I may extend it to November if I need to. But I also think it'll be fun to see what I can complete in the 2 months. So even if I don't get a blackout, I just think this will just be fun with how much I can do and accomplish in the amount of time I have. And I am going to try to like vlog each week and see what, like how much progress I make. So like even if I read like just one book that week, like I will vlog about it and post like a vlog and just post my progress on that. We'll see, like it might be a very short like update, but yeah, we will see what happens. Maybe I'll just do like shorts, like if I only read one book a week, one book in that week. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I think if you made it this far, you can see one of like the prompt that I will be starting with for September, like on September 1st, because I like a plan for like what I'm gonna read at the beginning of the month. So I want to see what I will be starting with. Like I can't just decide, like I want to know and I like to show you. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spin the prompt wheel I have here and see what my first prompt will be in for the start of this start of like September and start of this like project. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and spin the wheel now. All right, so I spun the wheel and it landed on fall in the title, which I think is actually perfect because to me, September is the start of the fall season. So having something that has like, which like that, like the fall, like vibe prompts, because there was like the, like just a book that has like the fall setting or like fall in love, like having one of those like prompts to start with, I think is fun. So like I said, these are the 2 options I have right now, but we will see what I do end up getting. It might be one of these, it might be a different book altogether, depending on my mood when September starts. But yeah, that is the first prompt I will be going with for this like Owl Choose Your TBR bingo project that I am doing. And so yeah, I am very excited for that. I'm excited to have this ambitious goal and see what I can do and what I can finish. Yeah, so yeah, that is the first prompt. And yeah, I'm just so excited. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And please, again, please let me know if you are gonna try to participate. Again, I will leave the graphic down below if you want to. Again, like no like it's not like any like you do not have to like participate at all, or you can just do like one, like a few of the prompts, or create like do like one bingo. Like you don't have to do a blackout or anything. Or again, like this is just my personal challenge. I'm just sharing it with you all in case you do like want to follow the prompts at all during the fall season. But yeah, I am excited. Again, I'm very excited to play this like TBR game. And yeah, again, let me know if you are going to participate or what your fall plans are, or what you plan on reading in September if you don't know like all your fall plans. And please leave any like fall themed emojis. I will leave a couple up here that you could use down in the comments, just so I know you have made it this far. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.